You ever wake up and realize your dream property just became ground zero for the dumbest land war you never asked for? Because let me tell you, if you think the real storm is climate change, try an HOA president in pearls armed with a stack of fake maps and a smile sharp enough to gut a man's sanity. Yeah, that happened, and it nearly cost me everything I'd built with my own hands out here on the edge of nowhere. Let me back up a sec, because nobody plans for this kind of trouble. I didn't buy this lake to make some grand statement. I bought it because I was sick of motel shampoo bottles and conference room coffee 7 years running, from one wetland restoration gig to the next, watching every good idea die at the altar of budget cuts and bureaucracy. When I found this forgotten patch of green water, 7.4 acres of what used to be a private fishing club, now just overgrown, abandoned, alive with frogs and old beer cans, I thought I'd found a relic, a place nobody wanted to fight over. No HOA, no zoning shackles, just peace. The previous owner never set foot out here, not once. Inherited it, let it rot. The shoreline was a tangled, dock's half-collapsed boat sunk so long it looked like a set piece from a crime show. But the water was clean, the birds still showed up, and the aquifer hadn't dried up. That was all I needed. I poured my savings into it, the last of my grant money, and everyone called me nuts. You bought the swamp behind the pines. Damn right I did. I had a plan. I got the dam checked. Pulled every permit I could dragged out. Dumpsters of junk with my own truck. Then spent weekends chainsawing invasives and replanting native grass. I camped here a month straight, lived out of a tent. Mosquitoes nearly carried me off. Still, it felt like breathing for the first time in years. I brought in a surveyor, checked the plat outside, any HOA clean title, not one covenant on record. Hell, I framed that lawyer's line, no covenant encumbrances. Hung it right in my Airstream. I built a couple open-air gazebos from reclaimed wood, put up compost toilets, even got code approval for 2 cottages, one for me, one for guests. Whisper Lake Haven, I called it. Laser etched a sign. Folks started to hear. A few yoga retreats, some bird watchers, one sheriff barbecue, nothing wild, just the kind of quiet that heals you. It was never meant to be a business, just a place for people who needed the trees more than cell service. You know what happened next? Peace has predators. It was a Tuesday, skies clear, and I'm out staining the deck when I spot her woman in a navy blazer, 60s walks like she owns the air, clutching a folio. "Mr. Wells," she says, voice sharp enough to split a log. I nod, and she slides me a card like she's about to sell me insurance. Karen Morrison, president of Fairview Waterside Homeowners Association. I almost laughed out loud. She smiles cold, rehearsed. We've recently updated our jurisdictional zoning map. This lake and the adjoining parcel now fall under our recreational overlay. Says it like it's a favor. I tell her politely, "Ma'am, this land isn't part of any HOA. It never has been." She opens her folder, all color-coded maps, highlighted sections, some voluntary compliance packet. I'm supposed to sign standard procedure, she says. She wants an inventory of my structures, certifications, all of it. I try not to laugh, really. I show her the deed, the county approvals, the exemption letters. Your own bylaws confirm it, I say. Karen just stands there, cool as ice, starts taking pictures, my dock, my sign. Even the old canoe rack. You're clearly unaware how community governance works here, she tells me, like I'm the lost puppy in need of a leash. Says I'll need to address my unpermitted structures, that my dock isn't regulation, that my guest house is commercial lodging. I ask her to leave, she does, but she's not beat. She leaves with her data, her little grin. And I know she's not letting go. Next morning, an email. Subject, welcome to Fairview Waterside Community. There's a dues schedule, a calendar of meetings, and a $400 fine for unauthorized rentals. I laughed so hard I almost spilled my coffee. Then I sent the whole thing to my lawyer because I already knew folks like Karen don't ask. They just redraw the lines and hope you're too tired to fight back. A week later, I get a thick letter from the county. Whisper Lake suspended from private registry, pending review. The hell. Turns out the HOA had filed some discretionary review request under an obscure emerging community asset clause meant for drainage ditches and shared parks, not private lakes with a composting toilet. That night, I checked their website. Coming soon. Fairview Nature Preserve and Lakefront Wellness Zone. There's a photo of a lake mine clearly labeled with meditation zones and community lodges. My 2 cottages, future community rest lodges. My gazebo meditation rotunda. Then the complaints start. Loretta says my events kept her dog up. She lives half a mile away. Derek files about illegal commercial activity. Then the pseudo-legal subcommittee says I'm storing vehicles unlicensed, meaning my canoe rack. Every form spawns a notice. Every notice spawns a deadline. I'm up to my neck in paperwork. Then come the foot soldiers. 2 men matching vests. Fairview HOA patrol, not deputies, just volunteers with clipboards and disposable cameras walking my driveway. You're trespassing, I say. We're performing compliance documentation, they say. This is a community concern under review. One flashes a laminated sheet. All properties within the wellness overlay subject to HOA inspection. Pending transfer, he adds. Transfer of what management rights? Like, that's normal. They back out taking pictures. That same day, a blue ink violation shows up on my fence. Unauthorized use of natural water feature. With the HOA seal looks like a duck choking on a leaf. The deputy at the station looks at it, shrugs, says, "This isn't official," and I realize nobody's going to save me but me. I double up my trail cams, go out of town for 4 days, leave a note in the shed. Back Friday, don't burn the place down. When I get back, I see fresh tire tracks, my gazebo's been busted, trash in the bin, and a 6-foot HOA sign in the grass, future home of Fairview Wellness Park. Community access, coming soon. My guest house. Lock's been changed. I crawl through a window, find a note, inventory in progress. Do not disturb. No name, just the smug watermark. I call the sheriff, show him everything, broken gazebo, lock, sign the deed, the maps, the whole saga. He sighs, scratches his neck, says, "Technically it's a dispute now they filed with the zoning board. So until that's sorted, you can't remove the sign," I ask. "So anyone can walk onto my land, change locks, plant signs. Because they filed paperwork." He says, "County's a mess. HOA's got friends in the wrong places." He gives me a report full of phrases like temporary jurisdiction ambiguity. That night I dig through my trail cam footage. Clear as day, same patrol guy's white SUV unloading the sign, replacing my lock. Faces, timestamps, everything. I give it all to my lawyer, Connie, a land use attorney with the patience of a saint and the temper of a drill sergeant. She files a cease and desist that afternoon. I hire a PI, Roy, the kind of guy who disappears into a diner and reappears with secrets. Roy finds everything. Turns out Fairview HOA made offers on my land before got rejected. Even offered community integration bonuses for a donation, Karen's own handwriting. Their meeting minutes call my property soon-to-be annexed project rental income from my cottage's list. Landscaping contractors all before they owned a damn inch. Worse, the county planner they worked with used to sit on Karen's property management board. It wasn't just sloppiness, it was setup. I pull public docs they've already sent expansion plans to the county with my GPS coordinates baked in. Then comes the twist, another HOA officer at my gate, clipboard polo shirt, wants to inspect the gazebo for rot hazard. I send him packing. Next morning, I get copies of everything filed with the county, an unsigned transition agreement naming my parcel as Phase 1. No signature, but they're acting like they already own it. Connie files for a restraining order, hits Karen with it mid-speech at the town hall. The judge slaps down an injunction. Next day, new flyers in my mailbox, community launch picnic at my lake, my dock on the sign-up sheet for paddle meditation. Connie gets a third-party survey, proves my lake is outside their boundary. "This isn't monopoly," she says. "You can't claim property by printing it." Then Roy gets the big one, leaked emails, Karen bragging, "As long as we act like it's ours, optics are in our favor." Board members worried about legal exposure. She tells them, push through, the county won't intervene. That's not just overreach, that's intent. I send the emails and all the footage to the news. Headline: HOA tries to seize privately owned lake. Owner fights back. The segment goes viral. My inbox explodes. Turns out there's a whole underground of landowners sick of being bullied. Sheriff stops by, tips his hat, says, "You're doing the right thing. Might want to install a few more cameras." The county ethics board opens an investigation. The HOA's own board starts to fracture. Karen doubles down, calls me hostile, says my improvements damage the balance of the neighborhood, claims emotional damages for someone's lost tree line view. Connie files a civil suit, trespass, fraud, interference with business, the whole playbook. We add drone footage, trail cams, flyers, emails, affidavits, the works. The judge schedules a trial. Day of court, folding chairs, packed local press everywhere. Karen in her pearls, me in boots, nerve shot. Connie opens with the drone footage, shows Karen directing the lock change signs being planted, emails, documents. Karen takes the stand, claims it's all a misunderstanding, vision for the community. Connie cross-examines her with her own emails, her signature on, "As long as we act like it's ours." Karen can't deny it. The judge cuts in. This court does not tolerate fraudulent claims or property theft dressed up as governance. She grants a permanent injunction, bars the HOA from ever contacting me or my land, then has Karen arrested right there, falsifying docs, conspiracy, obstruction. The room erupts. Karen's out as HOA president by the end of the day. County planner resigns. HOA gets fined. Me, I get my land every inch, plus $415,000 in damages. 6 months later, I rebuilt the gazebo, hosted a festival for landowners who'd fought off HOA overreach, and put up a steel sign at the gate, "Private property, not part of any HOA." Underneath, just for flair, it reads, "Ask Karen how it went last time." So let me ask you, where do you draw the line between community and control? Ever had to fight for what's already yours? Drop a comment, share your story. And hey, don't let anybody redraw your map but you.